off the Libyan coastline. It's just before daybreak and distant lights seem to beckon our arrival. Endeavour is slowly making her way to the port where she will be tied up for the day. The captain gingerly coaxes the ship into position under the watchful eye of his Libyan counterpart as the crew readies the lines. This morning we arrive in Tripoli on the first U.S. flagship to dock here since 1981. The sun now begins to warm the North African desert, and I get a chance to catch up with our expedition leader, Tom O'Brien. He scouted this area several months ago and shares some insight.
Libya isn't really a fundamentalist country at all, but it's a very conservative society, so it's more having respect for local culture. So you don't want to be wearing shorts, men or women. Long pants would be appropriate, and that's more, it's not against the law, it's out of respect.
The port at Tripoli is just coming to life. After clearing customs, I head down the gangway to be greeted by a group of traditional Berber musicians. Striking me as familiar is the sound of the gaita, which looks like an animal skin, but sounds very similar to the Scottish bagpipe. Attached to the instrument is a conical wooden pipe with 6 to 8 stops, ending in a flared bell and with a flat metal ring mouthpiece. The gaita can announce social situations, such as this welcoming party, or just provide pure entertainment. This instrument requires the mastery of circular breathing to obtain continuous notes, and it isn't long before yours truly gets into the act. More accustomed to my environment, I make my way to the nearby fish market, which is now bustling with activity. I realize as I venture into the marketplace that I'm really now elbow to elbow with the people of Libya. It strikes me that I may very well be the first American these people have ever seen. Instead of uneasiness, I'm filled with the feeling of joy as I'm walking where few from my country have tread in some 20 years.
You can't.
This is what swordfish is all about, right here. The stands are all run by local men, and I am instantly aware that aside from those in my group, I am also one of the very few women in the market.
The Asian women are here early, probably housemaids for people. They're in there first thing in the morning.
I saw an Asian woman without any scarf on. Sensing my curiosity, Abdu, a lifelong fixture in the market, makes me feel not only welcome, but shows me the fish stand that he has worked at since he was a boy. What kind of fish is this?
Yellowtail.
Yellowtail? What else do you have?
We have some small yellowtail here. We have some squids. We have red melon. We have small groupers.
This shark-like animal is actually called a bluefish, but with teeth like those, I'd call it whatever it wants. Taking great pride in his trade, this man named Youssef slices up the day's catch, giving us quite a show. For them, it's just another busy morning, but for us, it's an opportunity to get a glimpse at a culture that has been, until now, shrouded in mystery. Libya itself has been shrouded in mystery to many until just recently. A quick look around the city reveals a culture begging to be rediscovered. It also reveals a country controlled by a dictator. But outside the National Museum, the ever-present colonel looks more like a rock star than a ruler. One of the first things you see at the Tripoli Museum is the Volkswagen Beetle that Muammar Gaddafi drove during the 1969 revolution. Everyone loves a beetle, but the real treasures on display are the antiquities. Statues, relics, and wonderful mosaics that have been excavated from perhaps the most famous ancient Roman city outside of Rome. 1 hour west of Tripoli is a true highlight of any visit to Libya. It's the ancient Roman city of Sabratha. The city of Sabratha, located on the Mediterranean coast, was founded by the Canaanites in the 6th century BC. It remained primarily a Punic trading port before it was rebuilt in the 2nd century by the Romans. Under Marcus Aurelius and his son Commodus, you may remember them from the movie Gladiator, major city renovation and building took place. Marble monuments with statuaries and new neighborhoods went up near the Mediterranean. The port was the primary reason for its prosperity. Trade in grain and ivory were essential to its early success. But from where does the name Sabratha hail? In fact, it is thought to be a derivation of the Libyan word for grain market. I catch up with historian Tom Heffernan to learn more about this majestic place.
What we're in now is essentially a 2nd century site, building up largely under the Antonines, probably from about 180 on. And then again, when Septimus Severus came in, the African emperor, he put a lot of money into these places.
Not only was Sabratha a beautiful city by the sea, but it also had a lot of function to its form.
The breezes kept you cool. They knew how to stay out of the heat. They built subterranean homes, so in the middle of the day, you went downstairs to escape the heat. In the evening, you came back up. Now, they were very, very sophisticated people, and their diets were good. You know, their diets were fresh foods, olives, grapes. They lived reasonably good lives. If they took care of themselves, Romans could live, 70 years with no problem.
Part of those 70 years could have been spent right here at this olive press, fulfilling the ever-growing demand for Roman olive oil.
Literally millions of liters of olive oil were coming out of this part of the world in the middle of the 2nd century, say from 175 to 250.
But this ancient town wasn't filled solely with laborers. Just like any modern-day city, there were all sorts of people in Sabratha.
This was a city rich in culture. There were novelists, poets, artists, mosaicists, and theatrical people here.
And in fact, the true jewel of Sabratha is its magnificent theater. To be or not to be? That is the question. Considered one of the most exceptional examples of Roman architecture, Sabratha's actors could play to a packed house of 5,000 seats. Witnessing theater here must have been a spectacle. The stunning stage boasts 3 tiers with 108 fluted Corinthian columns, rising some 20 meters above where the actors once stood. And the fact that we can still enjoy its grandeur is indeed what makes this theater so special.
The theater here is exceptional because it's largely still intact. It hasn't been pillaged as much as many of the other theatrical sites that we have, and so the frieze in the back of the orchestra is still intact. It's a beautiful site. It's right off the Mediterranean Sea.
But prime Roman real estate doesn't stop here. Coming up, a visit to Leptis Magna, the largest ancient Roman city in Africa. Next on Toni On Libya.